Jesus asks a very powerful question today. Who do you say that I am? But he begins by asking, what do other people say that I am? How do other people view me? And so the apostles in a circle go around. People say that you're John the Baptist, that you're Elijah, that you're another one of the prophets. But it's Peter. It's Peter who answers correctly. He says, Jesus, you are the Son of God. You are the Messiah. And Jesus, in response to that, tells them not to tell anyone else. And I always wondered why that was. The Jews expected someone who was a warrior, a king, someone who was going to forcibly take that crown. And Jesus had to remind them that that was not his way, that the Messiah was going to be a man that came from a town that was famous for nothing and preached love, mercy, and forgiveness. That is who our Messiah is. And so the question I want everyone to ask themselves in this room today is, who do you say that you are? Because the question that Jesus asked had serious repercussions. If you guys truly believe that I'm the Messiah, you're going to take a portion of my cross with you. And so Jesus teaches them that the Messiah is someone that's going to have to die and in 3 days rise back up. And Peter, just moments after being the best of the apostles, the first among them, reminds us how beautifully human he is. He takes Jesus aside and he rebukes him. No, Jesus, you're wrong. Could you imagine saying that? You're wrong. And so Jesus brings Peter back and turns around towards the other disciples and says, "Get behind me, Satan. My ways are not your ways. My will is not your will." Jesus makes a definitive statement: I must do this for those that I love. Whoever loses their life will find it. If you follow me, I will show you the beauty of what life can be. And so the question I want everyone in this church to ask themselves today is, how truly faithful are we? Can we truly live as half-hearted Christians? Because once we've experienced the glory of the resurrection, the suffering of the crucifixion, does that show in our day-to-day lives? Can people point us out from a crowd and know that person believes in Jesus Christ? I remember from my own experience, when I was discerning whether or not I should become a priest, it was a challenge. I had just finished college. I didn't want to go back for another 6-7 years. I was dating a girl at the time. I was deciding, like, God, what do you want me to do? And I remember there was just one moment where I realized, okay, I'm just going to go see for myself if this is where I'm supposed to be. And so I go. I went to Mount Angel Seminary in Oregon. It was an hour and a half from Portland, middle of nowhere, just surrounded by farmland. The closest fast food place was 35 minutes away. I know. It was tough. But as I was going up that hilltop to get to that abbey, all I could think was, yeah, I'm going to be a saint. I made it. It's over. You guys in a couple years are going to have to pray to my icon. You're going to see my stupid face on prayer cards, and you're going to be like, wow, that guy's a saint. He made it. And I experienced my own great humbling. I didn't think about being a priest until I was already in college. But I met some of the best, holiest men I've ever met. Men that knew what they wanted to do since they were children. There was one guy that told me that he would pretend Mass when he was 3 years old. I know. And God chose me for some reason. And it was tough. There was a great humbling involved there of, God, why would you choose me to spread your word when there's clearly better options? What is it that you want for my life? But then something interesting happened. For many of you that don't know, the seminary process is tough. More often than not, the first 2 years, about 50, 60, 70% of guys that enter leave. And so some of the best men that I ever met, holy men that prayed every day, while I was dragging along trying to pray for 15 minutes, these men left. They either realized that this life wasn't for them, they found a girlfriend over the summer. There was different circumstances that led them to leave, and all I could ask is, okay, God, it's my turn. You've had your fun. You've made me go to this place in the middle of nowhere to see if I'm supposed to be a priest. Obviously, the answer is no, because these guys are leaving. So tell me to get out of here. And the question Jesus asked me is, who do you say that I am? Well, I love you, God. I want to follow you. But obviously, this isn't the way that I've been called to serve you. There's clearly better options out there. And each year, I would ask myself the same question. Okay, it's time to leave. They sent me to theology in Chicago. Okay, it's time to go. You had your fun, God. Ha ha. But as I got closer to ordination, especially towards diaconate ordination, it was no longer a joke. A choice had to be made, a definitive decision that I would dedicate the rest of my life to the church. And I really didn't know. There wasn't some profound lightning bolt that shot out of the sky to tell me, AJ, you're going to be a priest. But it was the daily commitment, day by day, to love Jesus more and more. That's what I was told in spiritual direction. That's what I was told in my prayer. That's what I was told in Mass. If you want to follow the Lord, it's not some grand gesture that makes us saints. It's the fact that we dedicate ourselves to be saints each and every single day. Getting up a couple minutes early to pray. Taking our time during lunch to offer something up to Jesus Christ. Being reminded that this is not it. Our aspirations are greater than what the world can provide. And so time and time again throughout our lives, Jesus will challenge us. Our ways are not your ways, O Lord. So today I just ask for us to have that grace to speak when the Lord is calling us. Who do you say that you are? And I hope the answer for everyone in this church would be your beloved God. Amen.